Eddington brings to the big screen a very specific historical moment that, for better or worse, changed humanity. Why did you think that Western, combined with black comedy and thriller elements, could be the best way to tell a story about these dark times we're living in?
Well, I grew up in New Mexico. I know the Southwest very well. It's a region that I'm very interested in, but that I understand. And so I've always wanted to make a film set in New Mexico. And, it's the desert, very big open spaces. So first of all, the Western just fits there. And then at the same time, it does feel like we're living through the collapse of something right now in America, and it feels like we're on the cusp of something new. And that also felt appropriate to the Western, which is about the building of America, building the foundations of America. And the Western is very much about the dream of America, the big, beautiful myth of America, and the reality of America and its history. And so, given where we are and how combustible of a moment this is, it just felt like that was the most interesting path for that. And then you ask, why a dark comedy? We're living through a very absurd time. It's a very weird time, and I think any movie that aims to wrestle with the moment and doesn't get infected by that absurdity is missing the picture. It's the thing that makes this moment really insidious is that it is catastrophic and dangerous and frightening, and at the same time it's ridiculous and impossible to take seriously.
There's a strong, almost mythological sense of a place in Eddington. How important is the setting in this film, and how did you work with the cinematographer Darius Conji to create the film's atmosphere?
Well, we let ourselves be inspired by New Mexico. We drove all across the state, went to every city we could, except for the really remote towns. I did a lot of research, meeting a lot of sheriffs, police chiefs, public officials, mayors, just asking people questions, trying to understand, the political climate as well as I could, as intimately as I could. So a lot of those people I met found their way into different characters. And then as far as working with Darius Kanji, who's a brilliant cinematographer, I tend to, do the shot list myself, and then I bring it to him. And then from there, we begin a dialogue, and one thing that Darius is known for is what he does with light, and especially when we are doing our night sequences, because they're in the daytime we're working primarily with natural light, but in those night sequences, that's where Darius really comes in and does something that I can't explain, and he's really a genius with what he's doing with lighting, in particular. But he's brilliant.
Eddington deals with fears that are both collective and deeply personal, unique to each character. But the film also explores identity crisis and family breakdown, something you've actually already explored in your previous works. Why are these themes so fascinating to you?
I mean, family and family is just good, is just fodder for good drama. They're the people we know the best, the people who know us the best, and so, I mean, I don't know how to say this in an interesting way, because it's just kind of obvious, Family is interesting to me, human relationships are interesting, because what else is there? Yeah.